The U.S. and China say they will temporarily reduce tariffs against each other. Good morning, and thanks for joining us. I'm Amanda Hara.
I'm Holly Thompson. Glad you're with us this morning. All right, this deal goes into effect on Wednesday. U.S. tariffs on Chinese imports will drop to 30%. That's from 145%. China's tariffs on U.S. imports will be cut to 10%. Now, a joint statement says the new percentages are set to last 90 days. Trade talks are expected to happen during that time. We know the agreement was made as the National Retail Federation is forecasting at least 20% drop in U.S. imports in the second half of the year.
We have right now no ships leaving China for the West Coast. That's the first time we've seen that since the COVID pandemic. We are hearing retailers talk about empty store shelves within weeks.
Experts say negotiations of trade deals could take months, possibly even years. More on.
Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Hakodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Rule well, been a great example to his younger brothers in the truth, and peace and blessing to the hopeful elect. As you see, this ain't gonna be no long lesson, but as you see, China and America has came to agreement. Both of them, you know, took their tail, man. You know, carried out, because the world economy depends on China and America, ultimately America, but China and America deals and things of that nature. But eventually the time gonna come where these things are gonna really hit, you know, in which we were saying, you know, it could just be a test run to see how people react, and, you know, just to you know how Esau do his different tests, just to see what the people mindset and things of that nature. But eventually something gonna happen to where the store shelves are gonna be empty. You know, eventually something gonna happen to where these things ain't gonna shake back. You know, because what the scripture says, suddenly shall the full storehouses be found empty. And it's all the will of the Lord. You know, the Lord is causing things to stir up and then die down. Stir up and then die down. But where do your faith lie? Do you believe in what you teach and preach? You know, speaking to myself first and foremost, do we truly believe in what the scriptures say? Because whether these things rouse up and get popping and die down, it look like something big finna happen and then die down, is that gonna make you not believe anymore because it ain't happening? Or are you gonna keep believing in Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, until he bring these things to pass? Which they gonna happen, man. You know? But let's get in this Habakkuk. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he shall say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon the table, that he may run that readeth it. You know, run and do what? Teach it. You get the knowledge, wisdom, understanding once you see the vision, once the Lord open your eyes up to what's written in the scriptures, and he send a rakakodash unto you. You run and you do what? You know, you teach it. They say for the vision is yet for appointed time, and we in that appointed time now. But at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. And things seem as if they tarry. You know, things seem as if it's, you know, tarrying, but the Lord on a different time frame than this. And the Lord do these different, you know, things. The Lord allowing Esau to say, damn, World War III finna get popping. Then it'll die down. Or it'll slow up. Or it'll stall. Which they'll be fighting, but it ain't nothing too serious to bring in other countries and stuff like that. You know, that's just to test our faith ultimately. Are we going to continue to believe even though things will stir up and go back to normal? You know? Because eventually all this stuff gonna come to a head, and the Esau gonna quit kicking the can down the road. You know, he gonna eventually stop doing or quit kicking the can down the road, and he gonna get stuff popping. Look at this. This the book of Matthew chapter 25 and verse 13. It reads, watch ye, for ye neither, it say, watch therefore, for ye know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. Yeah, because no man know the day or the hour where the Son of Man cometh. You know, that's why especially when these different truthers and shit give out these dates, 2025, they plan on, yeah, they probably do plan on doing these things, but they gotta abide to the will of the Lord, Agenda 2030 and all these. They gotta follow. They are doing the will of the Lord as well. They ain't on the Edomites. They not on their own time and agenda. The heathens, they not on their own time and agenda. They ain't got shit figured out to where they can do shit when they want, how they want. No, they in the hands of the Lord. You know, the king heart is in the hands of the Lord, and the Lord control it whithersoever he will. So the Lord put the spirit on them. Nah, it ain't time yet for the economy to quite crash. We're gonna y'all start back trading. You know, y'all start back trading. Bring that tear. Y'all stop that shit. You know, that's what the Lord put in their mind. So now they back at a 90-day agreement. China got a 10% tariff on America, 10% tariff on America, and America got a 30% tariff on China. So they came to, and this is just a 90-day agreement. So we don't know what's gonna happen after these 90 days. And that was the same thing when that port strike shit, you know, which they can go full automated with that shit. They don't even need you out there for real. And what happened? They were acting like they finna protest and do all this, and then it died down. But that's just how things are. Because eventually the Lord gonna have these things happen. It ain't gonna die down. It's gonna get popping, and it's gonna be fire. You know, in which we see these things, man. We see out here, it's coming, man. Fuck what a motherfucker talking about. You know, it's coming. Fuck what Esau got going, and Moab, and Ammon, and all these heathen nations. They not in control of it. They ain't extending they rule longer than what the Lord have allowed for them. They got bounds that they can't pass, you know. They not gonna rule a minute, a second, a millisecond longer than what the Lord have established for them to rule. We just gotta endure until the end, you know, and keep doing the work and report on the different things. That's why the scriptures say watch, because we supposed to watch and report. So when the thief come, we won't be caught off guard. See, the Lord riles different things up. The Lord be doing these different things just to see who gonna fall back to sleep, who gonna delay their Lord's coming. Like Bishop Nate talking about, we'll be here another 30 years, 20, 30 years. Which, hey man, a true prophet ain't gonna say no shit like that, man. We hasten the coming of the day of the Lord. Ain't no way we gonna be here 20, 30 years. You know? Ain't no way we gonna think like that. We ain't thinking we gonna be here another 20, 30 years. You know? The Lord getting ready to bring this man down soon. You know, if we here another 20, 30 years, Esau gonna be able to get his new world order off the ground. And it's gonna be full steam another 20, 30 years, man. Everybody gonna be chipped. Everything gonna be digital. Ain't gonna be no goddamn flesh to be saved. You know, you get Esau another 20, 30 years, we fucking through. The dollar crash in World War III, already really beginning with these trade wars with Russia, Ukraine, with Israel, Gaza, Israel, Iran, India, and Pakistan. We looking at the beginnings of World War III. You think that these different scrimmages gonna go on for 20, 30 more years? Hell nah, man. Some gonna pop off before then, gonna cause war to pop off, gonna cause the American allies to hate one another, gonna cause war, famine, shortages. Something gonna happen to cause these different things because it's written in the scripture. This the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3. It say, which, brothers can put, it's more precepts I can be grabbing. But I'm just gonna make this quick lesson. Brothers who watch it, whatever come to mind off the first clip, just throw your precept in there. Baba Kushai, on the comment board, at least a precept, to add to it. Add to what you heard in that first clip. But I'm gonna get this. This the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3. It say, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Yeah, so people might see that. See, I knew Trump would come to. We know Trump got this. Trump got us. He made them damn Chinese fold, and they bowed out. Okay, eventually the Lord gonna do something. Hey, this fucking economy gonna crash, and the elites want it as well. You think the elites want all hell to break loose just as much as we do? Because the elites, they thrive on different, what it is, catastrophic events. This when they do their enchantments. They make moves during times of chaos, major moves. But it's all good, man. Hey, man, we know that these things are gonna eventually come, which we was already, hey, we be paying attention. We see these different things. And something else had happened this year, and they was talking about some shit. And when these Edomites get to putting dates on this, we was fellowshipping with the brothers in Mississippi, Gulf Coast and Jackson. And we was talking about how, the Edomites put a date on some shit, we know that it ain't gonna, because they not the prophets. The Lord ain't dealing with them. The Lord ain't revealing his secrets to these different weird ass people of the world. No, the Lord revealing his secrets to the servants, the prophets. They ain't gonna have it right. Or by 2030, or by 2026, everybody, which it can happen. But we don't go by the dates that these different truthers and shit put out. We do our own thing through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. We watch these different things. We listen to what they saying, because these different truthers, they do research into what the Illuminati, these different Rothschild bankers, they going deep into all the different patents and all this old other shit that we ain't got time to even much, look into deeply. They do thorough research. The children of this world are wiser in their generation than the children of light. So these Edomites, they get deep off into Esau bullshit. And they expose it. The tongues of these people falling upon themselves, man. And we report on their findings. And Esau had these different agendas that he want to get, like Agenda 2020, Agenda 2030. They want these things to be established really way before they set those agendas in place. They want those things established before those dates. But they gotta obey the will of the Lord at the end of the day. You know? On the left hand side. But that's pretty much the point. Just a little rant before I go get me a little workout in. With that, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakak Kodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders, great millstone, rule web, and great example to his young brothers in the truth. Peace and blessing to the whole flick. Shalom, Kwam Yashala, Abba, Shalom.